Welcome to Landslide Podcast. Hello, guys.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm great.
Aggrieved ADC members.
I'm aggrieved.
But you're not an ADC. You're not an ADC member.
ADC member.
No, right? You know, in ADC, there's no membership card. There's nothing.
So we don't even know.
You don't know who is ADC, who knows ADC. So I'm a potential ADC
So
member.
those members went to court and disagreeing with what happened. You know, essentially what happened that day, no matter how you look at it, it's appeared like a business takeover. You know, throwing champagne and announcing new people, dissolving the whole authority and getting new people to be on board. Political parties are not run that way. They are run by their constitution, supervised by INEC, except what they did that day was just a photo op, which has no real legal value, meaning that Raf Mosu still remains the chairman, who is going to call for NEC, where removal of the people in office at this time, will happen, and they will be replaced with David Mark and all others. And now these aggrieved members have gone to court saying that David Mark is not their member, that they are not ADC members. Not only David Mark, including Rafa Lobeshola, even Bolaji Abdullahi, the interim spokesperson, and a host of others as defendants in the case. So, where do we go from here? This shaky ground. Even Raf Mosu has also warned that if we continue with this suffocation, that ADC might collapse. Where do we go from here? Because let me start from.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning, viewers. I should have expected that the caliber of people that are coming together for this coalition, Solomon Dalong was here the other day. Yeah. I said in 2015 there was a coalition. He said no, it was not a coalition. He said it was a merger.
Yeah.
Now, this one now is not a merger. It's a coalition.
Yeah.
I should have expected that the caliber of people coming into this coalition should have known better than what they are doing right now. Let's look at it and extract the whole thing. Now, they are coming together. They are not registered yet. If my bank and your bank are merging, before we call for merger or open display or the new bank, all the documents would have been signed, tidied. Name, logo, board of directors, signature, the registration company, everything tied. But this one, on the day at the table, they were presenting David Mark with a card. Who does that?
ADC. But looking at the whole thing, it's easy to blame the ruling party. It's easy for the ruling party to also get involved. Do you understand? Do you think these people, are not acting in good faith? That they understand that actually there could have been other opportunities for the NEC to happen and all that. And if they do not have a ulterior motive, probably take recourse to their former leader, which is Raf Mosu, and said, okay, what happened? What did you do? You didn't consult widely rather than rushing to court. Because once you go to court, it begins to be opportunity even for the ruling party that they've been accusing before to even hijack the process. After all, we have always been crying that the judiciary is not as independent, especially on political matters in Nigeria. So these people, do they have ulterior motive, or they are really acting in good faith in the best interest of their party?
If I understand you correctly, you are asking those who went to court.
The three of them, yes.
If they are acting in good faith,
yes,
or there's ulterior motive. Now, when you come to look at the ADC as it were today, whether these three persons have ulterior motive or they are acting in good faith, the law is the law. The question you ask from his analysis, or what we've all seen, this coalition settling in ADC, do they do it properly? Was it done legally? Do they follow the procedure as it were?
Is it late?
How do you place the cart before the horse?
That's what I'm asking. Is it late?
Of course. So if they had not done everything properly, whether these three persons had ulterior motive or not, their action is right, because you cannot come to my house and just become the landlord and quit me overnight. Because when he said ADC is open as it were today, wait a minute, that nobody had, nobody's a card carrying member of ADC. That is not true. Because ADC has been in existence, so there are some card carrying members in
Exactly.
ADC. So these three persons belong to those people who are card carrying members, so they are the real owner of ADC.
Okay, now, there is no way any decision that concerns the party will have to get subscribed to by all members of the party. That is why you have party officials who, at their capacity, take decisions for the party. If the national chairman has taken decision in line with their constitution, in the capacity where he should function, do you think that any other aggrieved member just anywhere will go to court?
I'm glad you said in his capacity.
Yes.
As allowed by the law.
Allowed by their constitution.
By their constitution.
Yes.
Then, if, on the other hand, the decision he took on behalf of the party is not in line with the constitution, then his action is non-void. It's ultra-virus.
Certainly.
I don't think it's too late. Let me give a little, funny but a little analogy. Paul advised some guys who were traveling. We said, I foresee that there's going to be a strong wind coming. Let's not go. But he was a prisoner, but they went. He said, but since your stubbornness is much, the ship will break, but the people will be safe. I don't think it's too late.
So what's funny about that now?
What you just said now.
You see, yes. It's not too late, but it will be too late for the coalition to use ADC.
Well, there's already a coalition, whether with the party or with no party, we know that there's a coalition.
Yes,
so that's why I said that the ship may be destroyed, but the coalition will keep it and learn how to do things the right way.
Probably with any other party.
Any other party
Should they decide not to use ADC?
Now, if ADC has a party, the question you ask him, the ADC already has a party. They are party officials. The party officials take care of the whole party on behalf of the party members.
Exactly.
But they also are bound by the law to do what is right.
By their constitution.
By their constitution.
Especially.
If they don't do what is right, a loophole already exists. So that loophole will allow for leakage to come in.
Okay, now, that loophole is where we are coming. Certain times, you can waive your rights.
Yes.
It's like a police officer seeing you with any crime or whatever. It's at their discretion to say this is minor, or I don't need to charge you. Do you understand? If these people are acting in good faith, those loopholes do they have to take advantage of it, or is it because they are not in the spirit of coalition, and that is why they choose to take advantage of those loopholes?
I want to weigh on the words of Gabam. That's Musa Gabam, the SDP chairman. He said a violent takeover. Nobody wants a violent takeover. Where the party have been for years.
Did he subscribe for a violent takeover, or say he doesn't want a violent takeover?
He doesn't want a violent takeover.
Okay.
He was talking about people asking for SDP for a coalition.
Yes.
He said what they came to do was a violent takeover, which nobody wants. You just come sack my house, put my load outside. Nobody wants to do that. That means the way I've called home for the past how many years? Somebody just came and took over.
But hold on. Let me come to you. I will get back to you.
Okay.
You see, the coalition in itself has an agenda. The ADC as an existing party, or even SDP, which was at the forefront before they switched to ADC. A lot of people still believe SDP is still a better home, but that's a discussion for another day. This coalition agenda, the machinery to operate it is the party. It is different from the essential initial objective of the ADC. So there is no way they will be able to operate that agenda using the existing party officials of the ADC. So a kind of all of them going peacefully and having the coalition take over to appoint or elect, whichever way they decide to do that, and put all their state chairmen, put all the national executive, all the national officers. I don't think that's bad. That will ensure, and that is the only way the coalition will get guarantee that what they want to pursue is right, and they are able to get to that. Because working with ADC people who, before now, how many elections have they won? Do you understand me? Those state chairmen might not have been used to how to really galvanize and win a state. This coalition wants to win the whole state. They want to remove Asiwaju. Hopefully they are coming with a better governance, because Nigerians are not just looking for opportunity to remove Asiwaju. They just want something better. So do you think the ideology of the coalition wanting to remove all the officials and putting their own is something too much? How would they function with old officials?
You see, for me, it is not the idea of removing the old hands and bringing new hands that is the issue. The issue is the method with which this old hand are being removed. Don't forget that when in the opening speech, he said, when banks are going to measure, all these are done behind the scene. All the agreement, understanding, procedure will be done behind the scene.
For the funfair.
Before the funfair. But in this case, the funfair comes first before the procedure. That's where we have issue here. For me, yes, your question is, can the coalition
old machine
with the ideology, and can they function with the old machine? The answer is no.
Yes.
In any party, whether SDP or not, if we want Nigeria to be rescued by the coalition, there must be sacrifice.
That's
but
right.
Before people can do sacrifice, you must make them to understand why they are doing that sacrifice and what will be the
But
benefit.
NDC is claiming that they have made their people to understand that they claim that series of necks were held. So now, is it people just coming up, not following their leaders, or their leaders has done something and they are not believing, or they are trying to challenge what their leaders have done?
The truth remains that we don't have those information.
Yeah.
Whether they actually had a series of meetings and then up to the grassroots were being informed that, look, this is where we are, the direction we are going. Our platform is going to be used as a vehicle to rescue this country. And if that is done, if we say a series of meetings, there should be documentation.
Yeah.
If that is done, they don't have issue. Whether these people go to court or not,
Yeah.
by the time they go to court, they will be able to establish their case that, look, we follow the proper procedure.
And we did what we are capable of doing according to the law. Okay, I don't want to jump into something else. There's something I want to ask you. Beyond the constitution of ADC and beyond the legality with which this thing was done, do you think people's dissatisfaction was coming from the fact that they were seeing the old faces like David Mark them? They are feeling disappointed that people like David Mark them, Ralph Adegbesola them, maybe Amechi them, who somebody was castigating Amechi the other day, say, you never did any private job. All you've done all your life is government work.
It's politics.
It's politics, not even government work, not even civil service, politics.
Apart from
that's all you've done. So these are the people who have all the decades to do well. They didn't do well. They are now coming to want to change their colleague who happened to be doing it in the last 2 years and not involving them.
If I answer, I think it's on both sides.
Okay.
Now, you are bringing people that you think knows better than me to come and take it. Number one, I'm not complaining that my party is not doing well. Every party, we have hundreds of parties in America.
Yeah.
We only head of Democrat and Republican.
A lot of them. Green Party.
I mean, at small level, and they're okay.
People think it's just only two parties.
No,
not.
two parties. Now, the people that have also come into the party are people that undermine other people. Don't forget where they are coming from and what they've always done. They don't believe in eternal democracy at all. If they bring you to come and contest, they say, oh, step down. Now, I want to ask a question. When a company wants to rebrand, the old hands that have been there, they give them an offer.
First right of refusal.
First right
or evaluation.
Or evaluation.
To see why they are not capable and find out where else where they will be.
Exactly.
Will be capable.
When MTN wanted to transform, there are old guys that are not too computer literate and not as violent in business like the younger ones that are coming.
Business.
They're aggressive. They gave them an offer. We'll pay you 5 years ahead so that you can resign. Simple. NNPC just resigned a lot of people that are at managerial level. Some have 2 years, 3 years left. And they gave them an offer. The same thing. They should have given these people an offer.
All right. Time is against us. This coalition. Now that people like David Mark have come in and they are at the front, Ralph Adegbesola them and co are at the front, people say the experiences are also needed, which is true. You can't just put a bunch of only young ones. But do they face the task of ensuring that young ones are the ones that fly their tickets across Nigeria in State House, the House of Rep, Senate, even at being governor? Somebody as young as Vivo, GRV, contested in Lagos. And how old was Fashola when he was governor? Ojus Okalu was about 38 years or thereabout when he was governor. So do they, I'm not saying the young ones are always better, but do they, face this task of ensuring that even their national officers are not just a repeat of 2014 APC merger, whatever, that they have young, fresh blood. And people from private sector, people who have worked as private sector. Peter B used to say something. Say his first government job was even being a governor. Do you understand? So do they have the onus to ensure that they have this balance of powers and balance of experience, not just only bringing these old people who believe that their old way is the only way?
For me, I totally disagree with them. Because if you graduate from school, if you are not offered a job to start working, where will you derive
where will you get experience from?
So for me, bringing the old dogs to head the coalition is failure from the beginning. Because what they should do, I will refer back to the words of Baba Ahmed. They should have sit back, put the young ones and guide them. From there, the young one will now have the experience. We don't need them to be at the forefront. I disagree with the entire.
Former Honorable Minister of Sports was here the last time.
Yes,
I asked Honorable Solomon Dalong. You had his response.
Yes, he was saying all manner of things, but that's not what it should be. Because for a young graduate to have an experience, he needs to be employed. So if the young one do not have the experience of a managing office, how would they get the experience? General Gowon was 2 years when he became head of state. Today is full of experience, and a lot of them are out there. So if they were not given that opportunity,
all right.
Well, how did
if we have people that are in their 50s,
yes,
they're in their early 60s, even late 40s or early 40s.
Yes, that's a good range for leadership.
Are you trying to tell me that
this is a balance of knowledge?
No experience?
It's a balance of knowledge and strength.
Someone like you now, you are telling me no experience?
No, a lot of experience.
I don't agree with
I've been around for
or someone like Philip?
I've been around for a while.
A seasoned career holder in this field?
I've been around for a while.
Come on.
No, that's the truth. So let's put it this way. I think the coalition needs to go back to drawing board and do. Thank God they have time to come out in a more formidable way. Like we said earlier, there is an interview that we had with Honorable Minister. He's a former Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports. Solomon Dalong, Esquire. I think he's a lawyer.
Esquire, yes.
So go back and watch. And a lecturer. He was a lecturer in uni. Just go back and watch that interview. It was very, very enriching, and there's a lot of information there. This is Still News Insight. I'll be right back very shortly.